After this video, we now have the official opening of the 6th edition of Forum Pulire. ISSA, welcome to you all. There is a catchphrase that has been accompanying Forum ISSA Pulire, cleaning as an absolute value. And this will be interpreted in a new way during our sessions, and it will lead us to deal with this topic thanks to our moderator, Andrea Pancani. Welcome, Andrea. You are invited on stage. Here I am. Thank you very much. Enjoy your session. Thanking all participants. We are starting very late, and I must apologize. This is due to the plane I was on. I was supposed to be here 2 hours ago. I'm very happy to be here again. There are speakers, participants who have known us for many years now, and instead there are also new ones. This is an edition that is held every year, and with Tony and Andrea, we have been discussing the topics of cleaning, professional cleaning, integrated services, but also general scenarios. We open this edition with the theme of the themes that concerns our being part of a society, health and safety. And tomorrow morning we'll be devoting one session to memory, and we'll deal with this topic thanks to friends and people who will consider memory from different perspectives. And then we'll also start discussing about our integrated services in the afternoon. So I'd like to thank you all our speakers, because they patiently waited for me. There are those who kept working, given that today we can work remotely, and others who just networked. Let's open the 6th edition with the theme of labor safety. There are figures that will be confirmed by later speakers later, of 3 people who die every day. The first mandate of Giorgio Napolitano, the Italian president, said in his opening speech, we need more focus on labor safety, work safety, and this has been lacking in Italy, irrespective of some regulations that were approved. And this was Giorgio Napolitano, and a long time has gone by since when he was appointed the president of the Italian Republic. I'd like to thank Mr. Sbarra, who is a representative from the trade union, because I believe this is a week focused on work safety, with an awareness raising activity that will peak with demonstration in Rome at the end of the week in favor of work safety. Just a couple of words before starting. When ISSA Pulire and Tony D'Andrea and collaborators defined the date for this forum, the Draghi government crisis was far away, or what followed, and these are very sensitive times for the new government, which is about to be set up. The heads of the various groups have already been appointed, and we'll need to appoint a deputy chairman of the House of Representatives and the Senate. And there are tensions because these are important positions, prestigious positions. I'm saying so because we didn't know that the forum would have coincided with these tensions, political tensions, because of the new government to be appointed. But I'm saying so because we are holding this seminar at a time Italy is going through this stage, and also all the crisis. Yesterday figures reported that there are 5.6 million people who are poor in Italy, and inflation rate reached 9%. If we consider also the energy crisis, we are definitely a frail country. And what the new government will need to tackle, and the opposition parties will need to tackle, are very serious. A convergence will need to be found. So this is the background against which the forum is being organized. We see whether the government will be appointed at the end of the week, so that the new center-right government can be operational as soon as possible. In the meantime, let's deal with this industry's problems. This is a strategic industry, very ambitious one, very interesting figures, one of the production industries the country badly needs. To give you an idea of the underlying philosophy of our forum, let's have a look at this video, please. We are a country deprived of memory. This means without history. Italy removes its past. It removes it and keeps just a few fragments, a few memories, what could be useful for its attentions and conversions. But Italy is a circular country, and reminds us of Gattopardo, where everything changes to remain the same, where everything flows and goes by. If Italy took good care of its history, of its memory, then it would realize that regimes are the result of all the poisons of metastasis, and it would learn that this country is special, that its vices are cyclical, and that they are repeated by different men with the same cynicism, with the same allergy to consistency, to moral tension. The stern and pitiless words that Paolo Pasolini wrote after 50 years still represent the embarrassing collective conscience. A debt that is being reassessed at every single crisis. Pasolini mentioned regimes, but we could extend this to organized crime, to earthquakes, to floods, to bacterial disasters, and also HAIs. In Italy, 3 people die every day for occupational injury or accident. Forum ISSA PULIRE has been an open representative home for the services industry to talk shop and ask questions. A location for the collective exercise of admissions and confessions about ourselves, our work, and what we do. This year's event focuses on 3 sensitive topical issues by a meticulous, in-depth analysis of a multitude of stories that help us uninstantly recognize the origin and reasons behind many recurrent situations. We'll be talking about occupational health and safety, and about how to repurpose places, gestures, and skills. We'll be looking at how to tangibly and definitely address the accountability issue. We will learn to understand the different ways in which integrated service management impacts the modernity of production systems across the country and throughout our communities, sharing the lexicon of the new normal, can help us outline the boundaries of our activities, organize work according to new needs, and define roles, skills, and authority in an increasingly widespread state of uncertainty. We will address the theme of memory. We will wade into stories that keep recurring, important first-person narratives that recall dramatic events and cyclical occurrences in Italy, implying responsibility. These stories have, in the social imagination, generated partial explanations, unfaithful representations, and unresolved situations. We'll be addressing memory as a place for encounter and knowledge, as a way of passing on experience, as a dynamic, generative, forward-looking dimension, as a tool for building a civil conscience. Forum ISSA PULIRE looks forward to seeing you at Milano's Giampiero Cantoni Auditorium, Fiera Milano, on October 18th, 19th, 2022. Here we are. This is the official opening of this 6th edition. Tony D'Andrea is kindly asked to reach me on stage. Hello, Tony. Here we are. Good evening. Good evening to you all. I welcome you to the 16th edition of Forum ISSA PULIRE after the latest edition, the one in 2020, which was celebrated online. We are here at this beautiful auditorium, and this place will accompany us in our project for many years to come. We started working on this project around 1 year ago on the themes. We based our organization on for a discussion, detailed and convincing discussion of the theme of planning workplace health and safety, and also the value of memory to build a civic consciousness. And the future of services of the new normal sounded as current then as they are urgent today. The video we just watched conveys us all a very strong message, an accusation, a condemnation, the one by Pier Paolo Pasolini, on the tragic and sometimes suspicious occurrences that we find in events in Italy. A call out to our behaviors, our actions, our tolerance, or even worse, our indifference, whose deepening will drive our understanding of the reasons why we behave like this. Professor Crepet tomorrow will explain in which ways we can get our bearings in this maze of our memories, how to use them, and he will instruct us on how to use our memories, which is the most valuable asset that we have. The 3 panels that we organize, thanks to the valuable help by Andrea Pancani, will help us shift our gaze beyond the routine of daily life to understand why there are so many unfinished businesses. My idea of Forum ISSA PULIRE has always been the one of a container of knowledge, a generator of inspirations, insights, through which to develop a more convincing perspective. My wish has been firm in these years in preserving this prerogative. Today, more than ever, a community that doesn't learn, that doesn't question itself, will not get richer intellectually and is doomed to lose its freedom. It is not a strong GDP that can make us happy or better. This is what Robert Kennedy stated in 1968. The mission even of our forum is to expand our thinking, to bring it beyond conventions and personal conveniences and easy certainty. uncertainties. Bowman tried to explain this. The main road to overcome any economic, financial, political, environmental, social crisis to invest in culture, in education, in teaching, and this is obtained thanks to an intercultural perspective. In the era of information, where data is easily accessible to us all, knowledge, acquired knowledge at the beginning of life cannot be considered an end in itself. The true goal is to develop the pleasure of learning, of knowing, and in this season of pluralism and complexity, we must start from culture, from know-how and knowledge. And the time of the internet, low-cost flights, we must, in a way, acquire foundational knowledge. Our main need is to prevent the process of sublimation that we found in very many industries these years, and which we lost sight of. They vaporized without any residue. Forum ISSA PULIRE, once again, is a meeting venue, a place to relate with people, to get inspirations from. It is also commitment, because these 2 days will make us think and rethink of very many conclusions that remained unfinished work. I would have wished this room to be fully packed and filled with curiosity and desire to learn. I know that there is a long way to go, but I promise that we'll keep insisting. We aren't lacking in patience and determination. I feel the duty to thank our sponsors first, their commitment, their support at such a difficult time, because they helped us at this project. They helped us organizing this project and made it possible. Apologies. Improvement of culture always depends on private initiative, and Forum ISSA PULIRE this year was possible thanks to our sponsors' vision, their availability, and their sharing of Bowman's teachings, and I will introduce them to you. Lucart is our main sponsor, Italchimica and Torque, our gold sponsors, Ecosia Vemacar bronze sponsors, For Clean Pro, Adiatec, CJ Crotti, Dimensione Pulita, Duplex Elsea, Flow Wash, Makita Miele, MK, Santo Emma, Soligena, and We Italia. GSA and European Clean and Journal are our media partners, so that we can broaden our knowledge in this field. Also, I would like to thank Andrea Pancani, all speakers who accepted to share their thoughts on the themes we'll be dealing with. I also would like to thank Affidamp and ISSA for their unwavering support, and my colleagues that have been working on this project for months, without whom this wouldn't have been possible. And I also would like to thank Fiera Milano hosting us on this stage, and also thank you to you all. A very important guest here with us is John Barrett. Is my reference point at ISSA. He came to take part in our sessions, and he is kindly invited on stage. Thank you.
Hi, Tony. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Buon pomeriggio.
Va bene.
That's it. That's it. I want to apologize because I don't speak Italian. I would like to speak Italian, and that simply means I have to spend more time in your beautiful city. Lydia is going to translate for me today. She's had a lot of practice doing this over the years. So recently, ladies and gentlemen, my son was married. Yes, it was the 25th wedding in 18 months in my family. The pandemic, right? I should tell you that I like her a little more than I like him, but that's a story for another time. Anyway, because of so many weddings, there were so many speeches, and all the good metaphors got used up, right? Gardening, rain, fine wine, you name it, all of the metaphors got used up. So for my speech, I chose to talk about the heavens, the cosmos. And so you might ask yourself, John, does it really matter that it takes 7,000 years for the light to travel from the stars that form Orion's belt to Earth? Or does it matter that there are 200 billion trillion stars in the observable universe? Well, I would say it matters in this respect. To the best of our knowledge, only Earth is a place that hosts life as we know it. And I think that comes along with a responsibility for us to be really good to each other. It's not even a responsibility, it's an accountability, a radical accountability. And I think today's topic of health and safety in the workplace is a perfect example of that. So I just wanted to add my welcome. Thank you for your support. This is Tony's vision, you guys, and I think it's incredible what he and the staff of ISSA PULIRE have accomplished. And of course, it wouldn't be possible without our generous sponsors. So I hope you have a wonderful forum. Thank you.
Grazie, thank you very much. Grazie.
Thank you very much.
Credo che ci sia.
At this point, we have a video to play. Let's see. We have a video from a sponsor.